Hello all. Am I audible clearly? Can
Yeah,
anyone?
ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. So in this session, I will cover week 2 concept summary. Or do you have any doubts from week 2? Anyone of you? Any specific topic that I need to discuss? Or covering week summary is fine? Or yeah, anything.
Yeah, ma'am. Covering week summary is fine.
Okay. Okay. Let's start it. So week 2 is introduction to Java programming. So first it has started with how to print simple hello world program using Java. So generally in Python, how do we do? Just write the print statement. No? I will open one online compiler and will show you how to do. Okay. In case of Python, we'll just write the some print statement that will print the output to the console. But in Java, we won't have any free floating codes. So everything, every code, whatever code we write, that should be enclosed in a class. A Java program is nothing but a collection of classes. And how do we create a class? In order to create a class, we use the keyword class followed by the class name. The class name here is hello world. Okay, we'll use the keyword class followed by its name. So class and its name. Hello world is the name of the class. And the point of the start of execution of the Java program is from the main method. So whatever you write in the main method, that will be executed. Okay, just let us see how to write the hello world program in Java. So first we'll create a class followed by the class name. How do we do that? Just by writing class followed by the class name. Here by default, the main class. Here by default, main is the name of the, as I'm using online in Java compiler, the point of execution will start from the main method and the main class is like the main.java. Here the file name is main.java, no? That is the public class by default. We can just change it to other name and change the file name here. Okay. So in the main method, I will enclose the line which that needs to be printed. Here system.out.println of hello world. No? This is the line that has to be printed. Okay, just run it and see what is the output. Hello world. You got the hello world. Whatever we wanted to print, that line we have to enclose that line in the statement system.out.println. So what is system.out.println? Anyone of you, if you have watched the lectures, then what is system.out.println? So system is some class. System is some class like it is present in the java dot IO line package, java.lang package. Okay. And out is the what? Out is the field of that class. Out is the instance field of that class. It is the instance of print string. And the println is the method present in the print string class. And whatever the statement that has to be printed, we will enclose that in the println method. Okay. So just if you wanted to print other thing, just any other thing, you will just enclose that line in the println statement that will be printed to your console. Just let us see here the same thing. A Java program is nothing but a collection of classes. All the code in Java lives within class. In Python, we can write definitions like methods outside the class, no? But here in Java, everything has to be written inside a class. And we use a modifier public that specifies the visibility. Modifier public will specify the visibility. If it is public, it is visible everywhere. Okay, these things also you will come to see, like in this session only. In the later part, I will discuss about the modifiers also. The signature of the main method. So what is main? Main is the method name, and void is the return type of the method. Okay, and these in the brackets, these are the arguments that method takes. So the main is the method name, and void is the return type of the method, as this method is not returning anything. It is just printing the output to the console. No, it is not printing anything. The main method, and this is the signature of the main method. Every time you have to write the main method in this format only. So public static void main and string array of the args. This is the syntax to write the main method. And the point of execution of the Java code starts from this main method. Okay, this is signature of the main method. Input parameter is an array of strings that takes the command line arguments. These are array of strings that will take the command line arguments while running your code. While executing the Java code, you can give the arguments. Like these are basically used to what, to configure some passwords or to pass the files to the program. These arguments are used. Okay, basically in this course we are not going to use the command line arguments. Okay, this code is like write once, run anywhere. Java code is write once and run anywhere, because Java has JVM, and the JVM, like whatever the code that is generated after compiling, that is called the bytecode. The Java compiler will convert the high level code to the bytecode, and that bytecode can be interpreted anywhere, like on any OS. On any OS, the bytecode can be interpreted. The Java code is like platform independent. The bytecode is platform independent, and with the Java compiler along comes along with the JDK. Okay, so let us,
Ma'am,
yeah.
the class main that we created, before that
Hmm.
we write public. Even if I don't write public, then also the code is working fine. Why?
Where, in which, in online compiler,
Ma'am, in
which ID
same,
you are using?
ma'am, same this GDB.
Because by default, the class, like main class is public. Even without writing the public, that will run. So if I change it to some name, like some other name, hello world,
Yeah.
hello world. If I change it to some other name, hello world, now the class name is hello world. If you run it, then it won't run. So error main.java file. See here, main.java file must have public class name with main. Here, as we
Okay.
have write return code in which file, main.java file,
Yeah.
and our class name should be main. I can rename it to hello world. I can rename it to hello world. Hello world. I can rename it to hello world. Okay, and I can make this class public, because yeah, we have named the file as hello world, and we can name that class as public. Here you can see I'm not printing anything, that's why I have not got any output. Hi, if I say, then it will print hi.
Ma'am, so basically the class that we create is the file name actually.
Yeah, that we create should be the name of the file. And
Okay.
we can create n number of classes in a file. In a single file, we can create multiple classes like A, class A. Okay. But only one class can be made as public. Whatever the class you make public, that class should be named. That the name of the file should be the name of the public class. So
Okay.
here public class is hello world. So the name of the file name also should be hello world. Even if you have class A, you cannot name your file as a.java, because this is the public class. That's why you have to make the class name as hello world, the
Okay.
file name as hello world. Okay, whatever the public class you create, that the name of the file should be also the same thing, hello world.java.
Okay.
Even
So
using like even if you use Eclipse or any other VS code, you should name your class accordingly.
Okay, ma'am. So, ma'am, if we create
Okay.
this main class, which is same as the file name, then under that, if we create n number of classes, that will work fine.
You are telling class inside a class.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah, that will work fine. Fine.
Okay.
Okay. You see, but you are that is nested classes that you will see in the week for how to create that thing. But
Okay, ma'am.
generally, you can have number of classes in a single file. Like employee class it can be in a single file in this file itself. Class
Okay.
student also can be in this file. Okay.
Yeah.
Class manager also can be in this file. You can define many number of classes in the same file. But the thing is, where is your main method? The main method is in the class hello world.
Yeah.
And then that classes, you should make the classes public, and you should name the file name also hello world. Whatever the class that is public, that should be made, the file name should be that one. Okay.
Okay.
Whatever the name or whatever the file name you give, the class should be that class, that particular class should be made as public. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Got
The
it.
same
Thank
thing
you.
in any other editors. So here, let us see, just don't worry about all the things here. Just comment out this. Here you can see I have named this file as hello world.java, and the class which I have created, the public class here is also hello world. No problem. So it will work fine. You can run this code using VS Code. You can use Eclipse or any other IDEs. Here you can see hello world got printed. Okay. If you are not using any other IDEs also, it's fine. You can use online online this Java compiler. Okay. Okay, these things.
Excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am, can you tell
Yeah,
me
yes,
the
please.
difference between the Java compiler and the JVM?
See, JVM does not include Java compiler. Whatever the code we write in Java, that has to be compiled first, and that will be interpreted. What Java compiler will do, Java compiler will convert the Java code to bytecode. Okay. Java
Okay.
compiler will convert the Java code to bytecode, and the bytecode, which is the bytecode is what Java compiler will do. It will convert the high level code, whatever the Java code we write, that is high level. That will convert our Java code to bytecode. Bytecode is somewhat middle level. It is not low level. It is not like zero ones. So Java interpreter will convert that the bytecode to machine level code like zeros and ones. Okay. Where is the Java interpreter present? It is present in the JVM. JVM does thing. The JVM is like whatever the code that is generated by the Java compiler, that is platform independent. So whatever code we write in Java, that can be run on any OS or Mac or Linux or anything. We can run the Java code with the same code without any changing anything in the code. We can run the code because because of the JVM. Java is platform independent. Okay, because of
Okay.
the bytecode which is generated by the Java compiler, that can be run on that can be run using any JVM. JVM is platform dependent. So for OS the JVM can be different. For other system, for other like Mac or something, the JVM will be different. So JVM is platform dependent, but the code we write is platform independent. For the machine to machine, the JVM will vary. Okay. The Java compiler comes along with the JDK, Java Development Kit. When you try to install Java, then you have to install JDK. So along with the JDK, Java compiler comes, and JVM what will interpret our code. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah. Any other doubts from week one? Just I will open the lecture slides also of week one. Java, right, okay. It's week two. So just it is in the first lecture, it is about how to print something to our console. In Python we just use hello world, but in case of in other languages in C this is how we do. We doesn't worry about the things, but in case of Java you have to write all these things. like everything, because you cannot write simply a print statement, because everything in Java should be present inside a class. That's why. Okay. So that's why you have defined a class, and the point of execution, the starting of the execution of the like Java code is from main method. So that's why you write the main method. The main method should be defined in some class, and from that class, in that class, you will define the main method, and in the main method, you will write the print statement. Okay, you understood? So first, everything should be present inside a class. And the point, the starting of execution of the Java code is from the main method. So main method should be present in some class. So that's why you have created a class and defined the main method. Inside the main method, we have written the print statement. Okay.
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah, the same thing here. Like everything we have discussed, all the code in the Java lives within a class. No free floating functions, unlike Python and other languages. Modifier public specifies the visibility. If something is public, that is visible everywhere. You can see, you can access whatever that is present in that class. Okay. So what is the starting point? Need to the starting point of the Java code is from the main method, and this is the signature of the main method. Public static void main. So the signature of the main method, input parameter is an array of strings that are command line arguments. No output, so return type is void. The function is not returning anything, so return type is void. The function is public because function has to be available to run from outside the class. Here we are not creating object of this class. We are not creating the object of the class, but we are able to run the code directly, because that is a starting point, and the class will be automatically run. The JVM automatically starts from this point. So what is meaning of static? So if you have a method as static, then the method can be invoked without creating the object of the class. Without creating the object of the class, that method can be invoked. So let us create some other example here, employee, and let us say public static. This is a method, this is a class, and then how do we create a class? The keyword class followed by the class name. Inside the class we will have data and the methods. Here I'm not giving any data, we'll see later solid examples of creating class. Here just I'm defining a method. This is like a method that will get the name of employee. Get name, it will just print the name of employee. So system dot out. To explain the static thing, I'm writing this println just some name. I will use some default name. Okay, some name as Ram. I will. Okay. So let us call this method. So in order to call this method, how as this method is static, we can call this method directly without creating object. I can say employee dot class name dot followed with the class name followed by the method name, get name. Okay, employee dot get name. So it is Ram. So here we are not creating the object of the class and calling the get name method directly. We can call the method by using the class name dot the method name. So if the method is not static, then what? How to call this method? Just if I say employee dot get name, then it will give error because it is not static. The method is not static. Okay. So error non-static method getName cannot be referenced from the static context. So the main method is static. You can call only static methods directly in the main method. If you wanted to call another methods, you have to create the object of that class, and using the object we have to call that method. So how to create the object of class? Employee equal to new employee. So this is how we create the object of a class. E dot get name. Now I have to use the object of the class and then invoke the get name method. Okay, now we got the output as RAM. So that is the difference between static. If the method is static, then it is not required to create object to invoke that particular method. We can directly call that method by using the class name. So employee.getName. I can directly say employee.getName and I can call like the method will be executed if the method is static. If it is not static, we have to create the object of that class and then invoke that particular method on that object. Okay, that is the significance of static word that you will see later also in other weeks also about the static. In week 4, in week 3 also you will see about the static. So how, what is the system? So system is some class. System is a class and out is the static field of the class. Out is static field of the system class. That's why we are able to call that directly. You will be able to call what? Use that directly. System dot out. Out is like instance of print stream class. So something it is just something like print stream is a class. Inside the print stream, so class, you have class system, you have class system. Inside the class system, you have print stream out, and this is static, and this is static. So that's why we are able to call here system.out directly. So print stream itself is a class. Here you have class print stream. Inside the print stream class, inside the print stream class, there is some method like public, some method. Public's void only, return type should be void, and println is should be the method.
So this out is the name of the method inside system.
So out is the field, the data field, like employee. In the class employee we can say string name. So name is the field. Okay, here in the class employee, here I can write data, like I can give the data of the class employee. So employee will have name, name, age, ID. So all these things, employee data, relevant
Okay.
data, age,
So out
what
is
ID.
similar as this.
Yeah, out is similar as this. So out is similar as this, but here inside the system class you have out as the data, and the out is present where? Out is, these are the slides. So out, you have inside the system class, you have out as its data. Out is the instance variable of the class system, and this out is what? Is of type print string. Okay, is of type print string. So print stream and some other class. Print stream is some other class. Inside the print stream class, you have the method println. So in order to invoke the println method, how we are calling the println method? By using this system.out.println of hello world. Okay,
Okay.
and yeah, so it is not that as per our course, this is not that important to know. It just as the just you need to know, that's all. It's not very important topic. Okay, about this. So system is a public class and out is a stream object defined in system class. And if you say print stream class also will be the inner class of system class. That things, okay, you not required now. Just understand now. So out is the stream object defined in the system class like a file handle. Okay. And it is
Ma'am,
static.
can you
That's why
please explain what is stream objects means?
what is
Stream objects means?
stream object? It is object of print stream. No, it is object. It is of type print stream. That's why.
Okay.
That's why it is called print, yeah, object of outstream. So println is a method associated with that stream, print stream. Okay, prints the argument with a new line like Python print. Okay, just no need to worry about these things, but understand in order to print. the thing, in order to print anything to your console, you will use the system.out.println. So whatever, it will print the argument with a new line. So you will get hello world followed by the new line. Okay, if you just write something below, if you write something below here, not required, all this I will remove just to avoid the confusion. So if I just write hi, and then here, if I write here hi Ram, then so hi will be in one line and Ram will be in the new line. So both will be separated by a line. Okay, the println will give the line separated outputs. If you just don't want to do that, if you want them continuous, then you can use just print function. Hi Ram. Just hi Ram, you will get together. Okay. Now to print them by separating in lines, you can use the println function. Okay. So these are delimiters, like ending of the statement. Every statement in the Java should be ended with semicolon. Every block should be ended using curly brackets, this flower brackets. So main method is ended using this. This is the starting and this is the ending. So for the class, this is the starting of the class. This is the ending of the class. These are the delimiters. Okay, when you start a method, when you write a method, and you should write the curly bracket that indicates the starting of the method, and while after finishing whatever you have to write in the method, you should close that method by this curly brackets. Indentation, not like, it is not like Python just follows the indentation, no? Here you have to specify the curly brackets. Okay, these are delimiters. So Java program usually interpreted on JVM. JVM provides uniform execution environment across operating systems. Whatever I have told previously, Java code can be write once, run anywhere. The code you have written can be run on any platform. So JVM is platform dependent, but the code we write is platform independent. So Java C, when you write Java C, that will compile the Java code into bytecode, and the bytecode will be interpreted on the JVM. Okay, that's all. Java C requires the file extensions dot Java. These things, if you use some terminal, then you will understand like how to compile the code using the terminal. If not directly, you, okay, just I will show by using terminal. I can say here, in order to compile this, I can say here Java C. In order to compile, I will use this command Java C using terminal. If I have to do Java C hello world dot Java, if I do this, then the code will compile and it will generate the bytecode. Okay, error file not found hello world dot Java. Where we are in download Java in week 2. I should go to week 2. Okay, but this is Hello World downloads Java, and I should go to V2. That's what I'm doing here. But yeah, if you use terminal, just you have to go to the current working directory and press Java C hello world dot Java, and in order to run that, you will just use Java hello world. But in most of the editors, you will get the run button. Using the run button, you will do mostly using the run button only. Okay, you can do, but if you use terminal, you can. This is how you execute. Okay.
And maybe writing within the codes will work.
No, no. Okay, that's how you do. Yeah, not that much important. I will show later also. Yeah, I can show it later also. Yeah, that's all about the lecture one. We'll go and see lecture two. This is the basics of Java basic type. So Java has 8 primitive scalar types: int, long, short, and byte, float, double, char, boolean. These are the primitive types. These are not classes. These are not classes. They are just primitives. Okay. We declare the variables before we use them. So in case of Java, if you are going to use a variable, then you should declare the variable. What is the type of that variable? Here int x comma y. So what is the type of x comma y? They are ints, and you can use them in your code. You should declare the variables first, then only you can use them. Okay. So x equal to 5 and y equal to 10. This is the assigning values to your variable. You can declare and assign the values simultaneously. I can say int x equal to 5 comma y equal to 10. I can say that directly, or just say int x comma y. X and y are both of type integers, and x value is 5 and y value is 10. So characters are written in single quote. This is how you do in initialization of integers, in declaration and initialization. For characters, you will enclose them in the single quote. So Boolean constants are true comma false. Boolean can take true comma false values. So Boolean b1 comma b2. So b1 and b2 are variables of type Boolean. b1 is false and b2 is true. You are setting the values of b1 and b2. Initialization. This is initialization. This is declaration. Okay. So float, similarly, there are like the other primitive types. Float is nothing but decimal point. So 3.1 float pi value is 3.14. This the long value. This 3.141597, and they should be like for float. You have to end the float value with f. So f denotes that is a floating value. If not, if you have not written f, that will become double. Okay, and you cannot store it in the float. Okay, so if you wanted to make it something as constant, that you something as constant, then you have to write final. If something has to be remain constant throughout your code, then you have to make that variable as final float by, so that will remain constant throughout your code. So these
Ma'am,
are the arithmetic. Yeah, yes, please.
ma'am, using that final before any of the variables will make it permanent.
Yes, you
Okay.
can use final. Yeah, that will be permanent, and you cannot change that also. So if I write here final int int x equal to 10, later if I change x value to some 12, then it will give error because final value should not cannot be changed. So x cannot assign a value to final variable x. Okay.
Ma'am, so
Okay,
we
this
can't
is.
even add or subtract with that within that value.
You can say, you cannot say x equal to x plus 2. That kind of thing you cannot do. You cannot.
Okay.
You can say if there is some other integer like y int y equal to y plus x, you can do. So
Okay,
yeah,
ma'am.
that will do. But x value cannot be updated. Okay, should not be updated because it is final. So if it is final, then that value cannot be changed. Okay,
Ma'am,
these are like primitive types. Yeah, yes,
excuse
please.
me, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, when we say that string is an object, string data
Mhm.
type is an object, so we can
Yes.
understand that there is some class behind that that is working.
Yes.
But when we
Yes.
say that like int and float, these are scalars. So what does it mean when we say
There
that
is
these
no
are of
particular,
scalar
yeah, there
types?
is no class. There is no int class, int class. There is no, see, in the other programming languages, we use directly, int float, pi, if, int float, double, all these things without having them as classes. Same way, you can use the things without having classes. They're built in types.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
No,
Some
there
keyword
is
that
no separate class. Yeah, there is no separate class of int float. Yeah, for string is an object. So string you have class string, you have class array, you have, but in the float double these classes are not there. But there are wrapper classes of this primitive types. So class integer you have, so that will be in capital letters. Class float you have, that will be different. That is different from the primitive types. You have wrapper classes for these integers. For this also, they are float double, these are in the capital letters, these are classes, these classes you have, but these are primitives, you don't have classes for them. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. So similar to other programming languages, Java also provides us with arithmetic and logical operators. So arithmetic operators are plus, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulo operator. No separate integer division. Like Python we have, if we use this kind of double slashes, then it is integer division. But in Java, if you divide two integers, you will get integer as output. If you divide a float with the integer, you will get float. If you divide double by double, double you will get. So like that, okay. No separate integer division. When both arguments are integer, division is integer division. No exponential operation like this one. Math.pow. In the case of Python, you have math.pow. But in order to do the same thing, in order to no sorry, in the case of Python, you have this exponential operation a star star n. Then that means a power n. But in case of Java, you have to use math.pow. You know, in case of Java, you have to use math.pow. So math is some class. Inside the math class, there is method pow that will compute the power of this values a comma n. If I say a comma n, that will return the math power of a power n. Okay. So special operators for incrementing and decrementing integers. So a plus plus. So in order to increment any variable, you will say a equal to a plus 1 or b equal to b plus 1. So that will increase the value of a by 1 and b by 1. The shortcut, in order to do that shortcut, you can just say a plus plus or b plus plus. That will increase the value of a and b by 1. Similarly, for decreasing the value of variables by 1, you can say b minus minus. Okay. The shorthand notation of doing a equal to a plus 1, a plus 7. That will increase the value of 7. Like increase the value of a by 7. So if a value is 10, that will a value will become 17 if you do a plus 7. So the shorthand way of doing is a plus equal to 7. That will, it is same as a equal to a plus 7. So similarly, a minus equal to 7 you can say. So a value will be a equal to a minus 7. That will happen. Okay, this is shorthand notation of doing. Understood the arithmetic operations?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So string is a class that is built-in class, and the string constants are enclosed in double quotes. The characters are enclosed in single quote, whereas strings are enclosed in double quotes. In order to create any string, you will say string s equal to hello, or some you will assign it to some string. Plus is overloaded for string concatenation. If you say string s plus t, then that will does the string concatenation. So here string u equal to s plus space t. What is s? Hello. Hello is a string. Hello is a string plus space. You have space and then plus world. So what will be the output? Output will be hello separated by space. Hello world are separated by space. So this is how you do string concatenation. But if you have something like that, 1 plus hello, 1 plus 2 plus hello, then what will be the output? So 1 plus 2 will become 3. 3 plus hello, it will be string. So string plus, so here int plus string. So it will be give string. Okay, but if you have something like this, hello plus 1, 2. So first hello plus 1 will give a hello 1, which is a string, and hello 1 plus 2, it will is another string. So the output will be hello 1, 2. Is it clear for everyone? If not, I will explain.
Yes, ma'am, it is clear.
Okay.
Why this happens means like
So
uh
you see, here here in here this case, what is 1 and what is 2? Integer. So you are just, if you add two integers 1 plus 2, then what will be the output? It is 3.
Three.
So this is integer addition. And when you add int plus some string, that will be string. Hello. So int plus some string, some data type plus string will give a string. So this is a string. 3 hello is a string. Okay.
It is very familiar. Means like it seems very same with JavaScript also.
Yeah, in any language, if you just this will be same in any language. If you do, if there are integers in the beginning and then followed by a
Mhm.
string, then integer will be added, then you will get a string. Here you have string first, and to the string you are doing concatenation of one first. So hello one will come, and then you are concatenating with two. So hello one and 2 you will get, hello 1 2 you will get. So string plus some integer is a string. Okay, int plus string, you have two integers first, so integer addition will happen and then string concatenation will happen. So this addition, this normal, this plus symbol is used to perform what? Arithmetic addition, no? So you have integers first, this will perform the addition. But if you have string, this is overloaded, this will perform the string concatenation. That's what it is mentioning.
Okay, so same operator performs two operation.
Yes, the same plus operator, one will perform addition, the other will perform concatenation.
Okay.
Okay, strings are not arrays of characters. So you cannot say, okay, s of 1, you can s of 1 or s of 0, you cannot say. They are not array. So you cannot access them by using indices. You have to use this method s dot caret 0 of 0, so it will give the 0th character. S dot caret 1, so it will give the first character. S dot caret 2, so whatever character you have to access, you have to use this method s dot caret. Or else you can access, if you want a substring, then you can use the method. Instead of using indices s of 0 is to 3, something like that, you can just say s dot substring of 0 comma 3. So it will give the substring from 0th index to second index. This is upper bound. So the string, in the string you will get upper bound minus 1 value. So it will give the value hel. So 0 1 2, uh, the values of the characters of the string will be given. Okay, these are the methods of the string.
So,
So there are
ma'am,
many.
what do caret do? Is that
Caret
caret?
will give the character at specific index. So here it is 0, no? So it will give the character 0th character. So it will give h. If you say s dot character of 1, it will give the first character. Okay.
Understood.
So it is similarly s of 1 or s of 0, something. Yeah, like that. So in order to do the substring, you will say s dot substring of. Okay. Other data type we are going to see is arrays. So arrays are also object. Similar to strings, arrays are also object. There is class arrays in Java that is built in. So in order to create any array, you will use this kind of notation: int array a equal to new int of 100. So what is the size of array? Here it is 100. The size of array is 100. You can, there are different ways of creating arrays: int a array or int array a you can use. And you can just say, later you can say a equal to new int of 100, or here itself you can say new int of 100. Or here itself, by creating itself, I can say int array a equal to new int of 100 I can do. Or directly I can give the values here itself, int array a equal to like some values here. These are different kinds of uh, creating arrays. Okay. Okay, if some variable, if you have defined a variable, that variable cannot be reused. Okay, I will explain this here. Just say x. Okay. Now, if I say something like string x, I cannot do string x because x name we have already used. So this will give us error. X is already we have declared x as int. X cannot be string again. So you have to give different name, string y or something. So here variable x is already defined in the main method. Okay, if some variable you have used as the variable name, that variable cannot be used again as variable name in your code. Okay, you have to use the new variable name. Understood this thing?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, so this
Yeah, yes.
after after strings, if we use that square braces, then that means that is a array
String
of
array.
strings.
Yes.
Yeah. So in that main method, we are giving the argument as a string array.
Yes. Yeah.
But we are not. I mean, when we print something, we don't give in. I mean, the input isn't array
So
in
the
the form
main
of
method
array.
will be, see, the main method is invoked directly. Okay, the
Okay.
JVM calls the main method. We are not calling main method anywhere. No main of we are not calling.
Yeah. Yeah.
The main method will start executing with the main method directly. As we are not passing that any parameters, that's why we are not able to see the output. You can just by using the command line, by just using the terminal, you can uh, while what running it, while say, first you will say compile the code, first you will compile the code java c hello world
Yeah, ma'am.
dot java, then you will, after compiling, you will say java hello world followed by the arguments you can give. In your code we can write, in our code we can write here something like print args of 0, print args of 1. You can iterate through that args and print that arguments also. That that use you can see when you use the terminal, like, kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
But here, yeah, that thing, yeah, that are command line arguments. While executing your code, we can pass the commands.
Got it, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. For the conditional execution, this is from 2.3, I guess. Just fill see big to lecture 1.2 again.
Can you explain the do while loop?
Yeah, I will explain. The just lecture 1.2. I'm just showing you whatever I have explained that is covered here in the slides. So these all things we have discussed, no? Arithmetic operators, pow function, automatic
Yeah.
incrementing, decrementing strings. Yes, you can see the slides. Everything is covered here.
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm. Just I will move to other lecture. So this one thing. So length. In order to find the length of string, it is a method s dot length of. Whereas in array, we will say s dot length, a dot length. That is just a variable data, like data. It's like it's data field. In the class array, I will explain here. In the class array, it is defined something like this. So you have int length. So how can we access the length? By saying uh, just a dot length, that particular array dot length. So it will get this length value. Okay. But in the strings, how the length, in order to get the length of the string, how it is defined? So class string, inside the class string, you have public int length of. So that will give the length of your string. So for the string, in order to get the length of the string, you will invoke the method length. But in array, you will say just a dot length. That will give the length of that array. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Only this thing. A dot length gives the size of a. Not for string, it is a method. So you will use s dot length
For
method.
array, it is a data.
For array, it is instance variable. Yeah, it's a variable
Yeah.
data field. Yeah, but in string, it is a method. That's a
Okay.
difference. Okay, array indices. Arrays can start from 0 to a dot length minus 1. No? In order to access the elements of array, you will say a of 0, a of 1, a of 2, something like that. So in string, you will use caret. Okay, method. The same thing. Okay, that's all. That's all in lecture 1.2. We'll move to 1.3. This now I will say how to. So for control flow, there are some what methods also. I will explain this also. Yeah. So every statement in Java should be ended by semicolon blocks of the statements are delimited by braces. I have told already, no? Yeah. For the conditional execution, we use if else. So if condition followed by whatever we have to do, if the condition is satisfied, in the else we write if the condition is not true, then whatever the statements has to be executed in the else block. Okay, just example here. This is one example that sir has given. Just we'll see the example. The same example I will show it by running. So what should be the name of the class here? We have the main method inside the class check number, and this class is public. So we should name the file as
Check.
checknumber.java. Yeah.
Ma'am, I have a question here.
Yeah, yes, please.
So,
Yeah,
uh,
yes, you can ask.
whenever I mean, I was trying to solve these programming assignments, what I
Hmm.
find difficult is means when to use this public, when to use this static, when to use this void. Sometimes it doesn't requires void. Suppose we are doing some string manipulation, it should return a string. So I said like public static and then string, then main. So it was throwing error. So means like I just want to
Yeah, can you
understand
just tell
when
the
to use
code?
what.
Yeah, can you just mention the specific example? I will explain that also without example, but if you have some specific question,
It
like
was programming assignment, basically those
graded
programming
one.
assignment. One or two. One question was there regarding string manipulation.
Okay. Yeah, we'll discuss that also finally. Yeah. So I will explain the you whatever part you have asked through this code also. Okay. Here we have to name the class name as check number, and the public static void main. This is the starting. This is the main method. Inside the main method, we have written a variable number. Number is 10. We have initialized the value of number to 10, and what we are doing, we are checking something. If number greater than 0, then we are printing it as positive number. If it is else if the condition is not true, if the number is not greater than 0, then we will check whether the number is less than 0. If it is less than 0, just will print it is negative, system dot out print negative. Else if it is not less than 0 and if it is not greater than 0, then we'll go to else part. In the else part, we'll just print it as 0. Okay, just run this code, then we'll get it as positive. Okay, positive. If you make it to some negative number -2, then we'll get it as negative. If I make it to 0, then it will become 0. So what is happening here? Just based on the number value, we are printing the particular statement, whether it is greater than 0. If it is greater than 0, we'll print positive. if it is if the condition is not true, if the if condition is not satisfied, then only we'll go to the else if part. Okay, so in the first case, actually the number is 10. So number is 10, so output will get positive. The negative 0, that won't be printed, because this if condition is satisfied, only the statement in the if block will be executed, that is line number 13 will be executed, and just the method just prints that and our execution stops. Okay, if the number is negative, what will happen? That is -10. So first it will check whether the number is greater than 0. -10 is not greater than 0, so it will go to the else part. In the else part, there is some other condition, else if the number is less than 0. Yeah, -10 is less than 0, so it will print the this condition is satisfied, so it will execute the statement inside this block. So what is the starting? Here it is starting and it is ending here. So the statement inside the block will be executed. So line 15 will be executed and we will get the output as negative. Okay. If it is 0, if it is 0, if our number value is 0, then what will happen? First it will check whether number is greater than 0. No, 0 is not greater than 0. It will go to else part, and in the else part we have one more condition. If else if the number less than 0. No, 0 is not less than 0, so it will go to the else part. If this condition is also not satisfied, it go to the final else part and will check. Just print the 0, the value 0. No comparison is required. Okay, that's the just how the program, the control flow of the program. Okay. And then we have conditional loops. This is how if else works. And the conditional loops is like we'll check for some condition. If the condition is true, then we'll execute the statement inside that conditional block. Okay. The examples. Oh, I should explain the methods you have asked. No, what happens when to use void, when to use something. No, something you are telling here.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah, I will see whether they are whether they are present here or not. If they are not present here, they are not
You can take programming assignments itself.
present here mostly. Should I explain now itself or after summary should I do?
After summary, you can do. Means I don't know whether means this particular week has this function thing or not. They
Yeah,
have
I will
classes,
explain. Yeah, I
so
will
they.
explain. Okay, I will explain that. Don't worry. At like after, because we are in between something. No, that's why. Okay.
Okay, no problem. Just explain it later. No problem.
Okay.
Here, can you explain do while
Yeah, sure.
condition
I will explain.
and
Yeah,
switch?
while condition and do while. Okay.
Hmm.
So if the some condition is satisfied, then in while condition, what happens? While will check for some condition, whatever the condition we give here that condition will be checked. If the condition is satisfied, then only the statement inside the while loop will be executed. So for this, there is some example. This one. There is this example for this. Just okay. You can see public class sum numbers. So here what should be the name? Here main method is presenting some numbers and this class is public. So here we should name our class name as
Some numbers.
yes
Some
some
numbers for
numbers.
Java.
Yes some numbers dot Java. Or else you can just change there itself as main. Then it will work. You can just here make as main, that also will work, or else you can change the file name. Here what we are doing, int sum equal to 0, sum value is set to 0, initialized with 0, int n equal to 5, so n value is set to 5, while n greater than 0, sum plus equal to n. So sum equal to sum plus n. This is the other way of writing. Or you can say here, instead of this, if it is confusing, you can write sum equal to sum plus n or sum plus equal to n. And n minus minus you are doing. So n value you are decrementing. So in each iteration, n value is getting decremented. So first it is starting with 5 and the value of n in the while loop will check whether n greater than 5, n greater than 0. So 5 is greater than 0. Yes, 5 is greater than 0. The condition has satisfied while condition 5 is greater than 0. So the statement inside the while block will be executed. So 14 and 15 lines will be executed. So sum equal to sum plus n will happen. So what is the value of sum? Sum equal to 0. 0 plus 5 will happen. So some value will be updated to 5. And okay, in order to see this, we can just print the sum value, how the variable, how it is getting updated. We can just print the value of sum in every iteration. Println of sum is to plus sum value. So what I'm doing here, sum is a string plus I'm doing string concatenation here. Sum string plus the sum value. That will give the sum colon followed by the sum value. And n value also I can print.
This will be a string, right? At the end, it will
Yeah,
be a
this will
string.
be, at the end it will be a string. So n is to
Ma'am,
end
how
value.
to check type of a variable in this particular Java?
So it's here, no? For every variable, you will give type.
No, no,
Sum is type. Hmm.
I'm saying, suppose I'm working and means I saw some code. I just copied it, but I don't know what that particular variable means. It is coming from somewhere. So how to check the type, whether this particular type is right or not for my use case, or it is causing some issues. So that type of debugging problem we have now.
So it is, there is something called instance of. So
Mhm.
everything is class, no? You can check whether the particular variable is instance of that class. There is some topic called reflection in week 5. In that week 5, you will come to know like how to do that. But
Okay.
similarly, if you know class name already, then you can check whether the class is instance of that particular object or not. If you don't know the class name of that particular variable, then there is something called a reflection. In that reflection, you will just say class dot get class something. You will just say object dot get class, that will give the class name of that particular class. Here it is not that. In week 5, you will see in the reflection how to get the class name, how to get the type of that variable. Just what I'm doing here, printing the value of sum and printing the value of in every iteration. So some value will be will be n value will be added to sum in every iteration, and n value will be decremented in every iteration, and finally we are printing the value of sum finally lastly. You can see what is the output. So first sum value is 5. Here first sum value is 5. Sum equal to sum plus n happened. So if 5 is greater than 0, sum plus 5, sum plus n. So it will be 5. Sum plus 5 will be 5. 0 plus 5 is 5. And n value is, after decrementing I am printing now. So n value is 4. N minus minus, the n value will be decremented. N value will get 4. Again, the iteration will continue. So 4 is greater than 0. The condition is satisfied. So the statement inside the while loop will be executed. So sum equal to sum plus n. So sum value is 5. 5 plus 4 will happen. That will be 9. So sum plus the sum colon, the 9 value will be printed, and n minus minus will happen. So n value will be decremented by 1. So 4 minus 1 will happen. So 3 will come. So n is to 3 will be printed. And then again we'll check whether 3 greater than 0. Yes, 3 is greater than 0. So statement inside the while loop will be executed. Sum will be updated. 9 plus 3, it will be 12. So 12, and then value will be decremented. So n will become 2. The same way, in the same way the iteration continues. And yeah, now the 2 is greater than 0. So sum plus like 12 plus 2, so 14, and n value will be decremented. N value is 1, and 1 is greater than 0. So 14 plus 1 will happen 15, and some value, like some value with 15 will be printed, and n value will be decremented. After decrementing the n value, what is n value? It is 1 minus 1, that is 0. So n value will become 0. Again it will check whether 0 greater than 0. No, the condition is false. 0 is not greater than 0. So the final print statement will happen. Sum and some value will be printed. So sum and 15, that value will be printed. Is it clear? So here what is
Can
happening?
can you
Yeah,
explain line 16?
line 16.
Yeah.
N minus minus. So n minus minus is same as n equal to n minus 1. This is decrementing. This is used for shorthand notation for decrementing.
Okay.
Okay. You can use either n equal to n minus 1 or n minus minus. That will decrease the value of n by 1.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. This is clear, no? Just in the while loop, we are checking for a condition. If the condition is satisfied, then the statement inside the while block will be executed. While loop will be executed. Once the condition has become false, we will come out of the while loop. Okay. What is the statement after the outside the while loop? This one, no? That statement will be printed. If there is some other statement outside, like system.order println of finished execution, then that statement also will be printed. Of something like finished execution, then that also will be printed. So whatever that is there after outside the while loop, that will be printed after execution. I should end with semicolon. Every line should be ended with semicolon. If not, it will give error. Okay. Okay, that's all about the while. Then we have do while. That's do while. Okay. This is the example code of the do while. So in do while, what happens? The condition won't be checked first. First do will happen, then condition will be checked. So what will happen here? Sorry, you have sum equal to 0, n equal to 5, and I equal to 0. Okay, do sum plus equal to I. So sum equal to sum plus I. Sum plus equal to I is same as sum equal to sum plus I. So what is sum? Sum value is 0. 0 plus I. I value is 0. So sum value will be 0 again. I plus plus will happen. Okay, then the I value will be incremented. And the condition will be checked now. So whether I is less than or equal to n. So 1 is less than or equal to 5. So this condition is satisfied, do will execute again. So first what will happen here in the do while loop? First do will happen. First whatever the statements inside the do will be executed. After executing the statements, then it will check the condition. If the condition is satisfied, then again do will be executed. Okay. If the condition is not satisfied, then we'll come out of the do while loop. First, even the condition is not satisfied, even if the condition is not satisfied, first do will be executed. First iteration will happen. Okay. Now what will be the value here? Just it is same as previously.
Ma'am,
Just
I have
it
a
is same.
question
Yeah.
regarding the syntax. Here, means the block of the code, whatever is going to be there, is
Mm.
inside the do. But you are saying that
Mm.
based on while the do will happen. For the first iteration, the do will occur, but after that, based on while it will occur. But then
Yes. Yeah.
not for the while. So how it is moving back to do?
Sorry.
There is no while, means there is no brackets after while, right? It is just semicolon.
Yeah. This is a syntax. This is how you define the do while loop. Okay. This is
So
how
means
you do.
while will automatically reflect back to do if it is true.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. In the do while, you will just, in the do, you will write what are the statements you have to execute.
And what if
While will
we have
check.
a while? We have a while before do and then while.
What? You have
First,
while
we have a
first?
while,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
inside that we
So
have
while will execute first.
hmm, then
Inside
do.
that you have do while.
Hmm,
Okay. So first this condition will be checked. Line 14 condition will be checked. Then then do whatever the statement inside. If the condition is true, then if it while true, that means it is true always.
hmm,
While true, then this loop will be true always, and it will print system dot out dot. I will just explain this code for you.
hmm.
System dot out dot println of hello. Here in the while I'm writing here for this while. Here while I can write while false. So after first iteration, what should be the output here? What should be the
First one
output? What?
is true. First one is true.
Hmm.
So it will go inside the do. No, it will check for do. So do will execute anyway because we are right inside the while block. So it will first print hello, and then while becomes false. So it will
Hmm.
stop because while will
Yes.
not be.
So output will be hello.
Hmm.
Okay. Oh, it is infinite.
It is infinite because we are inside a loop, and while true
Yeah, this
will
will happen again. Yeah,
it will keep on repeating
yeah,
itself.
yeah.
But
Okay.
while false
Yeah,
is not working. Why?
while false is not working, while false is working. Okay, I will like, yeah, this one I will just make some other condition, something. While n, Okay, n equal to 5. So we'll just see whether while n equal to 0, while n less than or equal to 5, we'll check. Okay,
Hmm.
well, when it less than or equal to 5, and we'll just decrement the value of n every time in our loop. Then what should be the output here? It should happen 5 times. Hello should print 5 times.
It's continuous.
Yeah, n minus minus n value is here. Just stop. I think compilation has happened or not. Just refresh.
It's nested, right? So while, yes, I think
You are
now.
actually decrementing, right? So your
Hmm,
n would be always, so it would go to negative value. So you have to
yes.
increment n, n
Yeah.
plus
N
plus.
value should. N
Uh,
value. So n we are starting with 5.
So ma'am, it would be only once if you do
Yeah,
n
it
plus
will be
plus.
only once. Okay. If not, you can just start with 1 or 0. If you start with 1, then it will print 5 times.
it is basically because the while loop that is it's for bo- if we are not changing that n, right, we are not incrementing, we are decrementing, then each time it will return only true, 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 true,
Yeah, true,
because
true,
of the
true. Because it
conditions,
is negative man. Yeah, because it is the negative number.
and
So
that will
while
be
for,
smaller.
yeah, this is just while loop we have already seen. But
Mhm,
do while, in order to see the do while functionality, we'll
mhm.
just make the I. We'll check for the I value. Okay, I value is 0. We'll check uh, whether I equal to 2. Okay, I value I will increment every time. So what happens? So how many times here? You just will remove this thing while thing. This is it. Then I think this should be there because we're incrementing there. So what will happen here? How many hollow we'll get? While n greater than 5. So
Uh,
I am starting
um,
n value. Yeah. Oh, this is running incorrectly because here I should write n value minus minus. So how many times it is happening?
one time.
Yeah, why one time? So first I equal to 0. So even whatever the value of I, so do this condition, that the do statement will be executed. System dot outer println of hello will happen. Then I value
Will be
will be
incremented, but
incremented. I value will
mm,
be incremented. I will become
mm,
1. So
one.
whether while I equal to 2, like whether 1 equal to 2, no, 1 is not
No.
equal to 2, this condition is not satisfied, will come out of the
Okay, so after
do
I
while
plus
loop.
plus, it will not go back to the parent while loop.
Do,
It will go after the one after the do.
yeah. Because the do while is a loop, so first inner loop should be executed, then the outer loop. No,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's right.
Okay, okay. Yeah, this was something new.
Okay. Is it understandable? So first, it's a loop in a loop. So first inner loop has to be finished, then only we'll go to the outer loop. Yeah, that's right. So do will be executed first, then the condition will be checked. Okay, so even if the condition is false, here I value is not. Initially, we are starting with I value as 0. I is 0 initially. Even the condition, while condition is not satisfied, but hello is printed because do the first statement will be executed, then only condition will be checked. So here I value is 1, 1 is not 0 is not equal to 2, the condition has become false, you will come out of the loop, and n minus minus will happen, n value will become 4 and I value will become 1. So first this statement will be executed, hello will be executed, then the condition will be checked whether I equal to 2. No, I equal not equal to 2, I is 0. So we'll come out of this do while loop, and n value will be decremented, n value will become 4, and I value will become uh, 1. I value will become 1. So again the loop, like,
Understood, ma'am.
yeah.
I was not knowing I didn't knew that this part that I plus plus will then again check for the while, the inner while.
Ma'am,
I understood.
while we have initialized that I, if we write the initial value of I as 2, then can you do that? I just want to see how the flow will go.
So this condition is becoming, see, this condition is satisfied every time. So this do while will be not terminate. No, this do while we are not
Okay.
terminating. We are
So
not
it
coming out
enters.
of this do while loop. It just
Okay.
runs repeated times. We are not updating the value of I. Here somewhere if we make I equal to I plus 1, then it will just do once. Hello.
Okay,
Okay, I
understood.
got.
Understood.
So only one hello you will get.
Yeah, got
Okay.
it, ma'am.
So this is how do while loop, no confusion, no?
No, ma'am.
Yeah, for iteration you will use two kinds of for. So just I will discuss this codes quickly, whatever the codes that are there.
Ma'am, here means
Hmm. Yeah, yes, please. Where?
in that particular code, I is equal to I plus 1. We are incrementing I, right? Right
Mm-hmm.
after the do part. So,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I is now 2. So that's why it's showing only one hello because 3 will not be equal to 2. Okay,
Yeah,
and
yes,
I
yeah.
thought that I was there. Okay, ma'am, I can continue.
Yeah. Okay. Now for in to explain for, like, there are some codes. Two kinds of for. There are two kinds of for. One is normal and other is like for each in like Python. Just changing the class name as some array. I can do in there also, but yeah, here you can see there is array, and the array is initialized with, it's an array of integer, and the array values are initialized to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the sum value is 0 initially. We are just iterating through the elements of array and updating the value of sum. So sum is nothing but the sum of the elements of your array. So how we are iterating? So first we are in the for loop. For this is how we write the for loop, and it is also a loop. So this is starting of the for and ending of the for, and just there is the variable I is the iterator. So for I equal int, I is of type int I equal to 0, the starting initial value of I is 0, and followed by the condition I less than array dot length. What is the length of the array? 5. If the value of I less than the length of array, then we'll execute the statement. Execute the statement inside
Array
the for
length is
loop.
5. Means we start counting from 1 for length.
Sorry?
For array length, we start counting from 1. Means
Yes,
indexes
From
array
start
length
from
is 5. Yeah, indices is starting from 0. But what is the length of array? Length of array is 5.
okay. 5
Yeah,
elements, so 5 is
yeah,
the
yeah. And this is a condition. This is like incrementing I plus plus. So in terms of while, how it is like this, like everything 4 can be written in terms of while also. This is how you write in while I less than array dot length. Inside the inside while you can do sum equal to sum plus array of that thing, and just increment the value of I. The same thing can be done using for like while also. So this is how you do in while. So first initialization, first iterator, the variable like I is the iterator. So iterator, we are setting the value, initial value as 0. We are starting from 0, it's the index of the array, and iterating through the length of array. So while for I equal to 0, I less than array dot length. So array dot length is 5. So we'll iterate from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. When it has happened 5, then the condition will become false. We won't execute the statement inside the for loop. I'll just come out of the for loop. And then after checking, like this is the incrementing, this is the incrementing the iterator. So this is how you write for loop. First initialization of the iterator, then condition checking. If the condition is satisfied, then the statement inside the for loop will be executed, followed by the incrementing of the iterator will happen. Like you can use incrementing or decrementing, however that iterator, whatever the operation we have to do on the iterator, we can do either increment or decrement or some updation, I plus 2, I equal to I plus 2 or something like that you can do. This is same as while. In while you will do initialization separately, separate condition checking you will do, and then you will increment the iterator. It's the same thing, both are same, but just in the for everything is in the single uh, place. Okay, just the value of sum will be updated every time, incremented, and finally we are printing the value of sum, so it is 15. You understood now how for works?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Instead of that, instead of this in explicit for loop, you can just use for each loop. Just we are iterating through the array. No, I can write for int I arr array sum equal to sum plus plus uh, sum plus I can do directly I. So what is this? So we are iterating through the array. So this is array. What are the elements of array? They are integers. So int I. So what is I? In the first iteration I value is 1. In the second iteration I value is 2. In the third iteration I value is 3. In the fourth iteration I value is 4. Fifth iteration I value is 5. I is nothing but the elements of array. Here what is the type of this? It's int, no? So that's why here int and I is the elements of your array. Sum equal to sum plus I we are doing. It's like sum plus equal to I means sum equal to sum plus I. So just we are adding the elements of the array. Just we are printing. Okay, this is the two ways of doing two for loops. One is explicit for loop, another one is the for each loop. Okay,
Okay,
understood?
ma'am.
Yeah. Okay, that's all about the for. Then you have switch. You have switch, no? Then multi-way branching switch. Yeah. So if
Which falls under
using if,
condition or loop?
which one?
Which falls under the conditional branching or the loop?
Switch is conditional branching. Switch is conditional branching. You can check for multiple condition. If that condition, if that particular case is true, then that particular
If else
statements will be
also
executed.
does that. Else else.
Yeah, yeah. Else if, yeah, this is other way. Multi branching, multiple.
It's like, what is the difference then?
So in if you have to use if else if then else, finally something if else ladder you have to use. But in the case of switch, you can just have some condition. If the condition is met, like you have different cases. Instead of writing the same way, the multi-way branching you can do in this two ways, by using else if, or you can simply
Hmm.
use switch. It's just easy, no? So what does
Ma'am,
switch do? Yeah.
ma'am, in if else case,
Mm.
if we match a condition, then the whatever we have to perform, it performs, and it comes out of that uh,
Yes, it
condition
will exit that
conditional.
if block.
Yeah, but in case of this case, it don't exist. We exit automatically. We have to break.
right?
Yeah, yeah, we have to break that automatically. It won't, yeah, that is like synced. Yeah, we have to break.
If we don't use break, it will
Then it
continue
will,
applying the.
yeah, yes, it will continue. Okay, it will continue, it will execute all the cases, all the cases, but it depends on the use case. It depends on our use case. Okay, whether you have to execute all the things by yeah, something like that you have
Yeah,
to see. Okay, int number equal to 1. Here switch number, we are checking just switch number. That means what is the value of number? It is 1. So what is it will go to the case 1 and execute the positive and come out. As it is, it has break, it will come out of that. Okay, let us see the switch explanation here. I will show. There's something written here. Okay, switch selects between different options. Be careful, default is to fall through from one case to next. Need to explicitly break out of the switch. Break is available for loops as well. Okay, check the Java documentation. Okay, here in the switch, what switch will selects between different options. Okay, here case 1, case -1, case 1, case 0. There are different options. You can select between the different option. So if you have not done break here, so yeah, here if the value of number is something like -1, if the value of b is -1, so it will if the break statement is not there here everywhere, then negative, positive, 0, everything will be printed. If you have break statement, then it will just break, it will come out of that, break out of the switch. And yeah, will it will break out of the switch. Here you can see what it will printed now. It will print as the number value is 1, it will print, it will go to the case 1 and print whatever it does, whatever that is there in the case. In the case we have, yes, it's positive and just break. Okay,
So
if we
adding
don't
break
have
is
break,
important.
sorry,
Adding break is important.
yeah, adding break is important. If we don't have break, if we don't have break, then what will
Continue. It
happen?
will continue till default.
It will continue to positive, 0, unknown will be printed. Okay, if the number is something like 2, where is 2? No 2 case here, no 2 case 2 is not there. So it will execute the default thing, whatever that is there in the default case, that will be executed, so unknown will be printed. Okay,
Ma'am, is this switch case is used to write test for the program
write a test means
just to check
it is
whether
multiple, you can check for the multiple condition. If the particular, yeah, sorry, test means, so it is similar to your if else only. It is kind of multiple checking you can do, multiple cases checking you can do using switch.
say if I have two cases with number two, so it will check both.
No, that thing, so you have 0 0, is that allowed? No, that won't be allowed.
Then how we check multi-way?
Multi-way means here you can see it will give some syntax. See case 0, duplicate case level. Multiple means, so this value, for the same code, I can use the same code to check different numbers, right? I can
Not
use the
getting
same
one.
code. Okay, just wait. The same code here I can use to check 10. The number value can be anything. No, not anything. Here, -1. I can check for these multiple condition whether the number is -1 or number is 1 or number is 0 or some other number. I can check here by using the same code. The multiple things I can check simultaneously. Multi-way branching means this. Okay, multiple
Okay.
conditions means, what do you mean? Yeah, you cannot duplicate the cases. Like, this is similar to, if the number value is 0, if the number value is 10, whether that case 10 is present. If it is present, then you will execute the whatever that is there in the particular case. Okay, if the
Okay.
number 10 is not there, you will go and execute the default case.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is similar to checking if for multiple condition, if on multiple condition, if it is minus 1, if it is 1, if it is 0, something like that. If it is 0, then you will execute multiple condition, we can check, that is multiple branching. Okay, this is not a loop, you can say this is not a loop, this is if block, it is kind of block. Okay, it's kind, if some condition is satisfied, you will just execute that block and come out of that.
Okay.
Yeah, just if you don't enclose a break, then it will just happen, fall through will happen, all the cases will be executed from that case. Okay, now you have classes and objects, how to define this is like solid example, I will explain about how to create a class and take the, yeah, this that's all. If I explain this, then this lecture will be finished. How to create a class, copy constructor everything solidly I will explain through this example. Okay, so here what should be the name of the class? Its main method is present in which class? In class date. Okay, and the class date is public, it should be date date dot java. Okay, so how do we create a class? Class, what is class? Class is a template, right? Class is a template.
Yeah.
A class is a template for an encapsulated type. It is just template. It describes what should be present in that particular, what is there for that class. Okay, for the date class, what will be there in the date? Date will have day, month, year, right? In a day, date class, you will have month, year, day, month, year. What is the, what are these? These are data. These are the data or instance variables of this class. So any class will have data and the methods that operate on the data. Okay, so for the class date, what data you can think of? Class will have day, month, year. What is the type of day, type of month, and type of year? It all are integers. So int, so everywhere it is int day comma month comma year. These are data types of, these are instance variables of the class date. This is the data of the class date, and they are private. Okay, private means only within the class we can access, outside the class we cannot access. Okay, only within the class we can access these variables, outside the class we cannot access. I will explain with an example also for that later. Okay, now uh, this is called constructor to initialize day, month, and year. So while creating the object, we can set the values of day, month, and year. So while creating object itself, I can say what is the day, what is month, and what is the year. So here, how do we create an object? Date, day one. So date one is variable. Date one is a variable, and what is the type of this variable date one? It is date. It is of type date. So instead of that date, I can just say D1 or any variable name. I can use D1 or something, some other variable name. So date one is just variable name, and what is the type of this variable? The variable date one is of type date. And how do we create the object of the date? Just use a new date of, how many constructors we have in this? We have,
Three.
how many constructors we have here? Three constructor. But here, using which constructor I am creating the object? Using three argument constructor, I'm creating the object. So new date of 12 comma 4 comma 1954, that will invoke the three argument constructors of type int. So all of are of type int. So this is the three argument constructor with all of type int. So by using this constructor, we are creating the date object. Okay, so I'm giving the values of day, month, year as this one, 12 4 and 1954. So in the constructor, this is constructor will have same name as your class name. So date is the name of your class, and the constructor name is also date. It is similar to a method, right? It has name and the arguments, and no, but it does not have any return type. It does not have any return type. What is the difference between constructor and a method? Method will have return type, but the constructor won't have any return type. Here the constructor does not have any return type. Okay, I'm just setting the values of instance variables. This dot day equal to day. So here you can see the arguments names are also day, month, and year. How to differentiate these arguments from our instance variable? So this refers to current object. This is refers to current object day. This dot day means current object days. That means this instance variable day. So in order to differentiate the instance variables from the arguments, we use this dot day for instance variable, and here day refers to this argument. Okay, in order to avoid the confusion, you can just say int d1, int m1, int y, something like that. Then you can say day equal to d1. That thing also you can do. Okay, but you can use same name. If you use same name, then you have to write this dot day in order to differentiate instance variables from the arguments. So I can simply say day, month, year, y, and I can remove this word. Here day equal to d, month equal to m, year equal to y. So just whatever the values we pass to the arguments, that values are assigned to the our instance variable. Okay,
Earlier, was it copying?
not copying. We are just assigning the values of the arguments to instance variables. Here, whatever values we pass while calling the constructor, here 12, 4, 1954, that values will be assigned to this day, this month, and year of the instance variables will be initialized. So constructor, the basic function of the constructor is to set the values of your instance variables. Okay.
When we were using earlier day, month, and year, so we can't
Hmm.
use that particular thing without this, is because we already have defined day, month, and year previously in our class itself, right?
No. So you are saying here day, month, year, you can use them as parameter names. Okay.
Hmm.
You can
Hmm.
use this as parameters names. If you use them, then inside this block, inside this constructor, so day will refer to this day only, this one only. If I say day equal to day, then this day and this day are same. They are just your parameters only, because inside this block day will refers to day only, this day
Okay.
only. It won't refer to this instance variables. Okay, it will inside the, so this is local, no, this is local variable. This is
Mm-hmm.
local variable. This day, month, year are local to this
Local.
constructor. So whenever you refer day, that will be this parameters only, this day. This is a local
Okay.
variable.
So
In order to
to assign
differentiate
values to, hmm,
instance variable day, month, and year, you will use this specific this dot day, this dot month.
then why we are
Okay.
using private there?
Yeah, private. If they are private, you cannot access. So our data should be protected. No? In order to,
Okay.
so others should not use our data. So in order to do that, in order to achieve the security of the data, in order to perform the encapsulation means data is private and the methods are public. So that's how you achieve the encapsulation in Java. So in order to make
Okay.
our data private, we make our instance variables as private, so that no one can access our data and manipulate it. Okay.
So we can't
Okay,
directly
this is,
access the data and manipulate it further. Uh,
no, you cannot access. You can access that only within this class. Only inside the date class you can access day, month, and year. Outside the date class you cannot access. Okay.
okay.
If there is some other class employee, in the employee class, even by using date object, you cannot access that. Okay. So you have something like class employee. Here, class employee.
Hmm. And
Yeah,
also
you can.
order matters here. Means like before we define means like manager and then employee. Obviously manager will be also an employee. So means order
Yeah, that
matters.
extends keyword. That extends thing you will come later. Or it doesn't matter. No, or it doesn't matter.
We can define anywhere any class, right?
Yeah, you can define anywhere any class, but it will be good if you define in an order. No, for yeah, for understanding purpose also.
Okay.
See, if you have date D1, if you have something like date D1 is of type date. I cannot set the value of date. Date d1 dot day equal to 10 I cannot do, because it will throw us error, because date is private. Date like the values day, month and year are private.
Mm,
Okay,
okay.
that's why you cannot set the values. Even what is d1, d1 is of type date. Even the object of date cannot set the values of day, month and year. Only inside this class, only inside this class you can access. So here in the method public get a day, you are returning day. So here inside the class we can access day, month, year, anything. But outside the class, even using its objects, its own object, you cannot do that. This will give error. Okay, but
Okay.
you are not creating employee object. Yeah. Here you
Well,
are not creating employee object, but in the main method, just
mhm.
this kind of thing you cannot do. This will give error. Even using the date object or in the employee class, you cannot access thing. Only within the class you can access the
Okay,
day, month,
understood.
and year as their, yeah, as their private. Now we have seen three argument constructor. This is two argument constructor. Public date int day int month. It takes two argument, and here you can see what is this line. This of day comma month comma 2021. This of you are calling. How to call a constructor from other constructor? You can use this keyword to call a constructor from another constructor. So this refers to this class constructor. Which constructor I have to call? Three argument constructor. So this constructor, when I create a class using two argument constructor, that two argument constructor will invoke the three argument constructor, and it will set the year value as 2021, and day month value will be set with whatever day and month we give. Okay, you understood this? Here this is constructor calling. This, using this we can call a constructor of the class. You call the constructor of a, in the class we have multiple constructor. How to call the other constructor? By using this keyword. Okay, you understood this one?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Okay, this is the copy constructor. The other constructor also we have. How do we know it as constructor? It has same name as your class name, no return type, and it takes some argument. So this is a constructor. And why do we say it as copy constructor? Because it takes the same data object. Same data object. That's why it is called as a copy constructor. It is taking the object of its own class. That's why it is copy constructor. By using this constructor, what we are doing? We are just setting the values of, okay, of the created object with the current date object, with the past date object. Here you can see in the example. So first, date d1, date 1 equal to new date of this one particular date, 12 4 and 1954. Day is 12, 4 is month, and 1954 is year. And date 2 equal to new date of date 1. So I am creating the new date object date 2 using the existing date object date 1. So we can create new object from the current object using the copy constructor. Okay. By using this, what is the benefit? You can set the values. You can, like, date 1 and date 2 will have the same values of day, month and year. They're
And
same.
can you
They're
show the
same.
copy constructor once again?
Yeah.
Okay, it's taking the date object itself and assigning it the value, the same values,
Yeah.
right?
So for the current object, this dot day equal to d dot day. That means for the current object day value, we are setting it to d dot day. Like whatever the object day object we have passed, that value we will assign. Okay, to
Okay.
that, to our current object day. Whatever the month, that is there for d object date, that month that is there for d object month, that will be assigned to the current object month also. Okay, that's how we do. This dot day equal to d dot day. So our current object day is is same as d dot day. So whatever the value of d dot day, that will be assigned to our current object day. The value of month of the d, that will be assigned to our current object month. So date 1, date 2 will have the same value of day, month and year. But date 1 and date 2 memory is different. Date 1 memory is different, date 2 memory is different. Later you can update the value of date 1 and date 2. That won't affect. If you change the value of date 1, date 2 won't be changed, because the memory, like date 1 has some different memory, date 2 has some different memory. Both memories are different, but only the initial value, starting value of date 1 and date 2 are same. Later you can change, you can update the values of date 1 and date 2 also. Okay, you can create new object from the existing object using the copy constructor. Create means just setting the values. Here you can set the values of new object using the current object. Okay, yeah, okay. Okay, you have day, month, and year, they are private. So, how to access the date, month, and year? In order to access them, there are something called getter method. We can use the methods to access the value of day, month, and year. So, these are called getter methods or accessor methods. So, get day will give the day of the current date, get month will give the month of the current date, get year will give the year of the current date. So you can see public int get day. So the get day is the method name and it returns int. So that's why you are writing the return type, you are writing here return type as int, and it does not take any arguments. That's why it is zero arguments. You are not passing, you are not mentioning anything here. That's why it is zero arguments, and you are just returning day. Okay,
How it
public
returns that
int.
means? Why don't we have this dot day there?
Yeah, you can mention this dot day also, it won't be any issue. Just here day refers to what? Here is there any confusion? Is there any parameter here? No local variable day.
No,
If
no,
you have
no.
local variable day, then you can differentiate that using this keyword. Even if you say this dot day, it won't be any problem. Okay.
Because it is in the same class.
Yeah, because inside the class day is this one only.
Accessible.
In the class,
Hmm.
yeah, there only. If you have something like int day in your parameter, then in order to differentiate that parameter from the instance variable, you can use this.
Okay.
Okay, with
Okay. Okay.
yeah, yeah. So what is get month? Get month is a method. What is the return type? It's int and it is returning month. So what is month? Month is of type int. So return type of the method is int, and it also does not take any parameters. So getter method or accessor method just gives us the value of day, month, and year. It does not take anything. It just returns us the values of our instance variable. So get year also same thing. Setter method or mutator methods, that will set the value of our instance variable. So you can have separate setter methods for days, month, and year. So set the day, set the month, set the year you can have. Here there is simple setter method. Only one setter method I have used in order to set the date completely. That will change, update the value of your day, month, and year. So whatever value you pass here, to that value our day will be updated. Month and year also. We can update. Okay, here you have created this one date d date 1 equal to new date of 12/4/1954. Later we can update the value of date to some other value also. Okay, just I will run this code. What we are doing here in the main method, just created the two objects of date 1 and date 2. Date 1 and date 2 will have same values of day, month, and year, 12/4 and 1954. If I run this here, you will get date 1 colon followed by space and then date 1 dot get day. What it will give? It will give the day of that date 1. So it is 12 followed by slash date 1 dot get month. The same thing, same values you will get for date 1 and date 2. Okay. So you can see date 1 and date 2 are same because date 1 and date 2 is created using date 1. So later if I change the value of Okay, later if I change the values, yes, let me write.
You can close that. There is an option, right? Close add X.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So here I can update the value of date. I can set the value of date to date to dot. I can say date to dot set the date. I can just update the value of date set date to by saying some different values I can use. Just I will change the value of day and month to some different value 2025. Okay, I'm just setting the value of date 2, and finally I'm printing the value of date 1 and date 2. So what will happen, date 2 will have some updated value, date 1 will be same, because date 1 and date 2 are different. Like date 1 memory, there is separate memory for date 1 and separate memory for date 2. So you can see, before updating the date 2 value, date 1 and date 2 values are same. After updating the date 2 value, if I print both date 1 and date 2, date 1 value is same as your previous value, and date 2 value has got updated to whatever the value I have set. So even if you update date 1, date 2 is not date 2, date 1 is not getting affected because memory location is different for date 1 and date 2. Okay. uh,
Ma'am,
yeah.
ma'am, here since our main method is inside the date class, so can we access the instances inside the main method?
Yeah, you can access instances directly. You can simply say get today, not a date. You can simply say day, right? You can simply say day.
Okay,
Yeah, as they are in, it won't give any error. You can simply say day because it's in the same method, same class, because we are inside the same. A non-static, yeah, because day is non-static, that's why the method is static. No, main method is static. Inside the static method we can access only the static components. So non-static variable day cannot be referenced using
ma'am, day
public
is
static method.
non-static means?
Here you can make this variable static by saying public static. So that means it is static. The variable is static. Static means
What
the way
static
this is
means?
same for each and every object. So if you update the value here, the all other, in the all other objects the value will be updated. Static is for class. Okay, it's
Okay,
not like it's, so here if they are, previously I said these are instance variable, that means for every object day month and year will be different. For every object day month and year will be different.
yeah,
Okay.
ma'am.
For date 1 it will have its own day, it will have its own month, it will have its own year. For date 2 it has its own separate month, separate day, separate year. But if I say static, this as static, then this will become class variables. For the entire class, the day month and year will be same. If you update the value of day, it will be updated for everything. Okay.
Okay,
Here
got
you
it.
can see, yeah, you can see here I have updated date to day only, date to value. So date 1 also got updated because they are static. So if you update that using any object, then that will be reflected for all other object, for the, all the remaining objects. Okay.
Okay, got it,
It's,
ma'am.
they are called class variables if that is static, and you can access them directly without creating the object. You can say date dot day in some other class. Okay, if they are static, then that will become class variable. You can access them directly using the class name. No need of creating the object. You can simply say day. You don't need to say day. No need to create object and no need to use the class. No need to create object and no need to use that object. You can simply say
Sorry,
date
ma'am,
dot
your
day.
voice is breaking.
Your voice is
Now is
breaking.
it breaking?
No,
No,
it's
ma'am,
not.
now it's
Is it
fine.
now also? Okay.
No.
Okay.
So in
Okay,
summary,
you
ma'am,
understood.
static is just means class which
itulah kalau awak itu nih omega levels awak sih kanan pas masuk.
so static is just a class where once we update a value, it will reflect for all the other instances.
Yes, class, if some variable is static in a class, then that is called class variable. If you update that variable using any object, that will be updated for other all other object also. Okay, you here you can see, here you can see, here I have updated just the date to value, and the previously before, as they are not static, if they are not static, you can see the value has is different for date 1 and date 2, but here I
Yes.
have made them as static. Here date 1 and date 2 are same because they are class variable now. Okay, if I remove static here, then that will become instance variable. That means the object variables, each and every object can have different okay, I have used here
You have to use date.
date 1 dot get date.
Understood. Can you take the questions that I asked?
Yeah, sure.
If it is complete. Those-
Yeah, it's completed. It's completed. Copy considered. Yeah, I can explain more also, because here you have seen only these are int is primitive, but if you have something like object here, int array, something like that, then the copy constructor won't do deep copying, it does shallow copying. And in order to overcome that, you have to just create new object and do that. Yeah, that I will explain later. Yeah, you can ask another, you can ask your doubt now.
Programming assignment second.
Okay, just let me open that
When I write code, there are mainly means like we generally have to either write functions or maybe classes. So when I write code, means I get confused with where to use public, where to use this, means like public static. Generally, we use public static void. So I get confused there.
only for main method we'll write. So only for the in the main method we'll write public static void main. For other methods we will define normally. We won't use static generally. If you
Okay.
wanted to call the method directly from the main method inside, like, okay, I will just
Can
open
you open the
your
question?
doubt. Yeah. Just I'm getting the course page. Yeah, which question?
Programming assignment two.
Two of practice only, no?
Practice assignment. Yeah. So in this, we have to, I think, take the
Okay, write a
input from the user.
string in from the user and print the characters at even indices. So here, just to see what is there in your main method. So scanner sc equal to new scanner, that is user to take the input. Using the scanner, we can take the input. So string s1 equal to sc dot next. So that means we are taking string s1 as input. Sc dot next will accept string as input. Okay, the string. Okay, if I say hello space world, it just takes hello. The delimiter is like space. Okay, it just reads hello till hello. The space, after
For
spaces
what?
it won't take.
For S1, right? For S1, it will
Yeah, for
take.
S1.
Mhm.
Yeah, for S1, that will be whatever value we give as input, that value will be stored in S1. So even display of S1. So event display is a method. You are calling that method directly from the main method. You are calling that method directly
Now
from the
my
main method.
question is, now my question
Yeah.
is, while defining this particular function, we know that when we define a function, we need to uh, give the return object, right? What type of object, what type of data type it will return or object it will return in general, except for the constructor. So here the return type should be string, but when I give string, it throws error.
No, it is like takes the input from the user and print characters. It is printing. Printing
Hmm.
means no return, not returning. We are just printing system.out println. So
Okay,
return
that's
type is
why we use
void.
void here.
Yeah, public static. The method should be static because
Hmm.
we are calling this method directly from the main method. Have we
Hmm.
created object here? F class f equal to new f class of and f dot event display. We are not saying. We are directly calling the method from the main method. So this method should be static. Okay.
Uh, Ma'am, can you explain this again? It's like why it should be
So we
static.
are not creating the object. In order to call the event display method, we are calling the event display method directly. We are not creating the object to
Okay.
call the event display. We are calling the method directly. So that means this method is static. Okay. Inside the class, I
Constructor
can
is missing.
call. We are not creating object. No, we are not creating. So where is event display method present? Event display method is in the F class. I
Of
can
course,
call
yes.
a method. Yeah, I can call a method inside a class. I can call a method. Like if I have in main method, I can call another method of that class, right? From
Mm-hmm.
this method, from this, okay, let us say this is fun1 and this is fun2. I can call fun2 in fun1. I can call fun1 in fun2. Like I can call any method from any other methods in the same class, right? In the same class I can call other methods of that class also. But here the main method is static. In the static methods I can call only static methods directly. If not, I have to use
Okay.
the object. Yeah, if not, I have to create the objects of it class and call that method. Okay, so
Okay.
as we are
That's
not
why.
creating the object, we are
Mhm.
just directly calling it directly. We are
Calling
not
it and
creating the
printing the
object.
output.
So
Yes.
it should be static. And what is the return type? Void. We are just
Void,
printing.
it
So
is
return
void.
type is void.
Event
And
display, this one.
event display. And what parameter it is taking? It is taking string. So string.
String, and then S1. Or
String
maybe
S.
S.
It
I
can
use
be,
S. Huh.
yeah, string S. And what we have to do? We have to just print the
I just
elements at
ran a loop.
event is.
I just ran a loop
Yeah.
and then printed out.
Yeah, you can do anything. You can do whatever way you wanted to do. You can
Mhm.
just print. Just we
Okay.
want to print the characters at even indexes. So I can just say use for loop for int I
I equal to
equal
0.
to 0, I less than,
S
as it
dot
is string. I
S
have to
dot
use
length.
S dot
method
length
s
bracket
dot
1.
length. Yeah, I as it is as it is string. I have to use method length
Hmm.
s dot length of then I plus
I
plus
plus equal to 2.
yeah I equal to I plus 2 I can do because we want to even indices. So I
Yes.
equal to I plus 2 and just print the character at that particular index. So system dot out dot println.
So this is what we did in our Python as well, just that the syntax differs. The
Yeah,
logic
println
remains the
of,
same.
yeah, logic is same in any the language is different. Just
Yes. Hmm.
yeah. Yes, s dot caret. You have to use
At
caret
char at
of
char at
I
of I.
of I.
Directly we can't use I because string is not an array as
Yeah,
we.
directly you cannot use I. So you have to use the method caret of I.
Okay, so
Ma'am, I
that's
guess you have to use print only. Println will print in different
print
lines.
only.
Yeah, different lines. So that will show the error in your h separated by this one. So you
Hmm.
have to use just print. That will give the space like the
Now I
characters.
understand why this is happening. Need a little bit of practice actually. Something new to me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That is yeah. That's all. That's all
So
you
where
got
should I
that.
practice more questions like these? Means like in hacker rank and lead code, there are problems. They are not like this. So
They're
where
not sim.
practice
Yeah,
questions like this?
Yeah, you
Ma'am, so
see
static.
all.
Yeah,
Hmm.
continue, ma'am. Sorry.
So you can use the assignment itself. All the questions which are there in the practice assignment and the graded assignment,
Mhm.
that questions can be practiced. You can directly copy these codes, reason first, you have to reason the output, okay, and check using the online compiler as well what
That
output
what
you will
I
get.
do. I just reason through the thing using means like through means directly try to run each and every line, try to understand what is happening, and then I try to come up with the solution, and then I put the code in the some code editor and try to get the output. Sometimes it works, sometimes I get wrong. So is that the right approach?
Yeah, it's the right approach. If you get wrong, you can ask in discords or in the live sessions, okay, if your, yeah, approach is wrong.
Okay.
So, ma'am, we can think like if whenever we have to make a method, it will be static or not. It depends whether the main method is calling it directly or
Directly.
creating an object.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, any other doubts? Yeah, copy constructor, deep copying is still not over. Okay, that will take half an hour time to explain. This is first session of your week two, no? You have Friday
Yeah, ma'am.
session and Saturday session
Yes.
also. That will, yeah, in that other session it will be covered. And if you have any doubts now, you can ask any doubts from the lectures or anything if something is not clear. Anything? So most of the like all everything is done. Just the copy constructor, if it has some object asset instance variable, then how to do, then only that thing is pending. Yeah, that example should be there in week 3 also. You have one coding question based on that only.
Ma'am, is the session over? Means like, can we leave?
Yeah, it's the session is over, you can leave. And if you have any doubts you can ask, if not we can close the session.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Ma'am, are you the instructor for DBMS also?
Yeah.
Okay.